Welcome to the show, Yaya Diamond. You are from a multi-platinum and Grammy award-winning family, Evelyn Thomas being your mother, along with 8 Grammy nominations for collaboration with Walter Clyde Orange of the Commodores and child activist Craig Donito. You are a vocalist, writer and performer on stage, film and TV. You're followed all over the world, performing now with your own band, Yaya Diamond and the Dream Chasers. October 2023, you were featured on the newly released record Change the World by End of Code. There's loads to talk with you about, Yaya. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do tell us more.
Oh my goodness. It's just been such a whirlwind from when my mom decided that she wanted to come and get me. So I was raised initially by my grandparents and my godmother, and my mom was on the road from the point of about 2 weeks old. And I didn't see her much, but then she said that she didn't want me to not know who she was. So she came back and picked me up, and I was 4 years old, and I toured the world with her, and it was amazing. I got to see people, they remember me, just put it that way. I was very young, but it was just a whirlwind, and to see my mom, a single mother, doing what she wanted to do, doing the things that she's always dreamt of doing and never having to do anything else. She's my hero. It's just such a blessing. Definitely. I mean, that's me in a nutshell right there. I'm just sitting here watching.
Yeah. And traveling and enjoying your life. And the good thing about it, you already found out what you want to do in your life. There's a lot of people out there still haven't found out what they want to do, right? And you enjoy what you do.
I do. It was an accident. I didn't choose this. This chose me. So podcasting. Okay. So singing and all that stuff, that's natural. That comes in my blood. My great uncle is the first Black Metropolitan Opera singer, Robert McFerrin Sr. His son is Bobby McFerrin. So, it's like my father's side, my mother's side. You have no choice, darling. You're going to come out singing. But podcasting, in about 2006, I found myself not knowing what I wanted to do and being very depressed and isolated. I had my kids, I had my family, I had my business. I mean, I had millions of dollars and I was very unhappy. I figured that, I don't have to worry about my bills. I should be happy. But that wasn't it. It wasn't everything. And I discovered that. And I discovered that I wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what. So I heard about podcasting. I heard about this whole thing and I was like, I got a new computer. Let me go on and let me interview my friends. So I called Walter Orange of the Commodores and I said, Walter, I want to interview you for my show. He's like, what is this podcasting thing? Yaya, what are you talking about? So it was fun. And I found that by inspiring others, I in return receive the inspiration to go on.
Yeah.
What's performing with your own band like? I mean, you've got your own band there now, the Dream Chasers. You've obviously featured in the record Change the World. What's next for you with that group? Have you got more plans to do more things with them?
But End of Code? End of Code, Sean Pereira. Oh my gosh. How did we, so him and I, we became friends instantaneously. It was like, I'm calling you. Okay, call me, and we wanted to do something together. So I wrote the lyrics to Change the World and I gave it to him on this dummy track that I made because I'm no musician. I'm just a writer. I'm just a singer and a lyricist. That's what I am. I stay in my lane. And him and End of Code, the gentleman that's with him, came up with the track and he came up with his own lyrics. Oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. And they released both versions, which is great. Yes, we do plan on doing something in the future again together. And I'm hoping that I can get out to LA with him to do the music video for End of Code, which is going to be amazing. I'm loving the collaboration. I like collaborations. I don't like being by myself. And you said, how is it with my band? I think the creativity of having people that know what their instrument can do is amazing. And I don't get in their way. not unless it doesn't sound good. And we all get in our way when it doesn't sound good. So, it's the collaboration, it's the camaraderie, it's the musicianship, it's the creativity, it's all of that I love. And being by myself as an artist by myself is okay. But I feel, again, the reason why I reached out and started podcasting and reaching out and doing different things was because I was depressed and alone and isolated. And I can't live that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, singing was the first instrument, right?
I know, singing and stomping, keeping that beat.
Don't make it sound like, I just.
That's very important. Hugely important.
Very important. I mean, music is great by itself. When you put vocals with it,
Oh my gosh,
it becomes something else, right?
Yes, it does.
And one of the reasons I wanted you, because I love the title of your song.
Thank you.
This is music for global change. So it's all about, we're going to start festivals, Tom and I, and it's going to be for social conscious music artists. And so that tune fits perfectly with our agenda, right? And tell us how that came to you.
Okay. I've told this story so many times. This is an amazing story. I took myself out. I wanted to go out. I wanted to get away from everybody and everything. So periodically, not too often, but I'll be like, okay, Yaya, what do you want to do today? I think I want to go out and eat. So I started doing the whole crazy me thing. And I took myself out to Buffalo Wings or something like that. I forgot what it's called. Yeah. Anyway, so I sat down and had a salad or whatever. And then I was just sitting there and I had my back to everybody. And I was just staring out into the forest. Like, there's trees everywhere. It's just so tranquil. And all of a sudden, this guy walks in. I look at him because he's making a lot of noise. And he sits behind me. Not too close, but close enough for me to hear him. And he says to this girl, I did it. I know what I'm going to do. I made up my mind. I'm going to change the world. I looked at myself like, is this like staged? And then she said, you're never going to change the world. You're not going to ever do anything. You always say this and you never do anything. And he said to her, why are you always putting me down? You're always putting me down, making me feel bad. I'm not coming around you no more. I'm done with you. And then she goes, bye. And he goes, good riddance. And he leaves. And I'm like, I just sat there like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like, was it staged? It was real. I was like, okay, this is like a theater happening right behind me.
I love it.
And I took notes on my phone and I just didn't think anything of it later on. It just kept resonating in my head. I'm going to change the world. It was way before everything started happening. It was in the summer and I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't get it out of my head. And I had to get it out of my head. So I came up with this rinky-dink track, just something that'll keep a beat. Cause I was hearing about 120, 121, 22, somewhere around there. I was like, okay, this is going to be a really nice song. And I just came up with it. And I sent it to Sean. I said, Sean, it's out of my head. Here, it's copywritten already. I did everything in one day. And I sent it to him. And I said, okay, Sean, run with it. And Sean was like, got it.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened.
1984. When I was out of the Commodores, the bass player and I wrote a song for the state of Alabama where we were going to give kids to help families where every fourth kid in the family could get a college degree, right? Mm-hmm. And when I saw that you could do that, I was like, look how we can use music instead of talking to about ourselves, right? So I haven't written a love song in years, right?
I love love songs.
Yeah, what I mean by that is I write songs now that heal, educate, and solve problems, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of talking about myself or who hurt me and all that kind of stuff like that. But the cool thing is that we can use lyrics like that. Just the title of your song says it all before you say anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can change the word.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, before we get off, we're going to get some information for you so we can push your song as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, I wish I would have said something to that guy, but by the time he stormed out, he was gone. I was like, oh my gosh. I would have turned around if I wasn't too shocked. I mean, I was so shocked, like, what just happened behind me? But I would have told him, you can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm writing a song about that right now, Haters, right?
Mm.
And the reason why I'm talking, because they're terrified of the strength that you have in your spirit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they can't do it themselves, so they want to shut everybody down, right? Mm. And so I'm writing a tune called "It's Gonna Be All Right." It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it anyway, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, I just wanted to, on the subject of sort of songwriting, and just wanted to know a little bit about, perhaps you can tell people your process, how you actually come up with ideas. Is it really just, just a happening kind of you just happen to overhear some conversation? How do you go off and think, I'm going to write a song, or is it just very much it comes to you? How does the process work for you?
Okay, so I do lyrical arrangements and I do lyrics, and I hear a beat in my head, and I can pick a subject and write about it, right? Come up with something. Maybe I'll have someone play a keyboard that's resonating in my head that I can't really get out. I get frustrated because it's in there and it just won't come out. But that's like a one-off. I mean, I literally never wrote a song like that in my life, where I'm listening to a conversation and all of a sudden it's just resonating in my head and there's the beat. There's the beat. It was like, boom. I had never, ever, that was the first time. So far, the first time in my entire life that has ever happened. So my process is to literally get some kind of a beat. I like 120s. I like 90s. For slow songs, and then the fast dance songs and the house songs and stuff like that. I like those too. I usually start around 120 beats per minute, whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I start with that, and then I either slow it down or speed it up, and then I think of a subject, something that's resonating in my head that happened to me, or I want to write about it, or it's just something that's really upon my heart that I really want to get out. And a lot of times I don't have a lot, because I'm a very happy person, very positive person. So everything that I write is going to be positive. But sometimes you have those instances where it's just so much in your head, you want to get it out. There was something that just happened. So that is the process. It's not very technical. It's not very technical. The technicality comes after I get it out of my head and I do a dummy track. So I'll sing it into the microphone. I'll record it on my Tascam. I'll get everything as close to a demo worthy as possible. And then I'll go searching for the instrumentation of the people that can hear it like I hear it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And do you come up with how I write lyrics is I write them by titles, like you just did with that one, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you do the title, I teach writing lyrics. If you do the title, your verse is your opinion about the title.
Right.
Now the key thing is that last thing you say in your verse has to connect to the chorus. So it's almost like, oh, I knew you was going to say that. Right?
Oh yeah.
For years I was doing like you, just writing the lyric part of it, But musicians would give me tracks all the time. And back then, I'm kind of old, so it was cassettes and all that kind of,
I still have them. Yes, that's.
yeah. And so what I would do is I take tracks I like from musicians, and instead of playing the radio, I would play these tracks. But it's just like what happened to you. If you go into a party or something like that, there's all kind of conversations. So there's topics about all kind of stuff, and I'll see which one is resonating the most. And I'll go, hey, there's a title, just like you did. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'll write about 20 titles and I put them in my car. And as I was playing music, if I start singing along with it and I got a melody, then I'll try to match it up with one of those lyrics, one of those titles.
Right.
And I'm off and running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that I've written like that before where people have sent me tracks and it's great. I have a couple here now that I haven't picked up because I heard it once, it didn't hit me. I guess it was just too much going on. I usually kind of let it sit and then I'll pick it back up again. Because you just never know what's going on in your head later down the road. So but yeah, that's an easy way of doing it. To me, that's kind of like the easiest way to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was super hard. Change the world was not easy, and rightfully so. Changing the world is not going to be easy at all, but it wasn't an easy song to come up with a beat for, because I had just words and I didn't have anyone that felt that gentleman's, how would I say, his eagerness to change the world in the beginning, and then his disappointment in his friend and his confidant when he walked out.
Well, because they're terrified of his spirit. His spirit, his spirit. Basically, I'm not gonna let anybody change, or spoil my joy, because I think I can change the world, right? And that's beautiful that he felt like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the other person who told him that ain't gonna be possible, well, it's never gonna be possible if you don't make it possible.
Yeah.
She, it's just, I felt bad for him.
Well, I'd love for you to find him and play the song to him.
It would be nice
for him to realize that he's the inspiration of that track as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I've never seen him before in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen him before, and I haven't seen them there since.
I wrote a song called "Nobody Knows Their Name," and it's the reason why I wrote that song is because people do beautiful things for each other and they don't ask for nothing for it, right? And I was gonna do this video where the old lady's on the corner, she's in a wheelchair and it's raining and she can't get past the light fast enough, so somebody grabs her and pushes her across the street, and then they walk off. Well, you never knew their name. Or that one person that a car flips over and it's about to catch fire and somebody goes and grab that person, pull them out of the car, right? And then walk off. You never knew their name.
No.
So that's what I'm doing a song about all these earth angels that do beautiful things for people and they just walk off, right? And I mean, all over the world in every language.
Yeah.
So, positivity is the key, and lyrical content will cement everything we need. And we can't stop doing that. The reason we got music, it's the number one language in the world. It's how you use it. You know what I mean? So that's why if you know more people that write social conscious music like yourself, please turn this on to them, because that's what Music for Global Change is about. We're going to change the world using music.
Nice. I love that, because I mean, if you look back at your life, every moment that was ever special has a song right attached to it. My first kiss makes me like go every single time, because I remember the song. It was Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
It was Never Stop, something like that. I forgot the title of the song, but every time I hear it, because I was only 5 years old, and that boy kissed me, and I was like, ew. It makes me like want to throw up a little bit every time, but I love the song. So every song and every moment that you have that's special has a song that you either were hearing at that time or that you can relate to and kind of attach to that moment. So yeah, I think changing the world with music is going to be an amazing thing.
Yeah, please write more.
I will.
I've written for cancer survivors. I've written for the environment. I've written for homelessness, right? And it's really gratifying when you see how it can change the world. One song could change you overnight, right? And if we could use it like that, right? Because life ain't all bad. There's a lot of beautiful stuff going on all the time.
I look at it and I'm like, okay. And I started to take record. When do the bad things happen? And are they seriously bad? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I have one life, right? So I'm living this continual timeline. We put a time on it, but it's one continual timeline. In my so far 51 years of my one continual timeline of life, I've had some ups and downs, but I have to say they're far few and in between.
Yeah, that's
And I
right.
have so much life behind me that I've lived that is amazing that now I can recall, and laugh and smile about, even this morning, and laugh and smile about, even right now, and it's one continual life. And I don't put a time frame on myself because I don't believe in living in time,
That's right.
because it's from birth to death, right?
Right.
So I'm living a one continual lifetime. And I think that most people putting time and putting circumstances that were not optimal, I'm going to say it that way, in front of the happiness that you could be having is a detriment to yourself.
Mm. That's true. That right.
Very true.
So, what's on the agenda for you now?
Well, I have the podcast, which is now a TV show. That's amazing. So it's reaching about 25 million people. I'm on the Rewind Network, LWR in the UK. I'm on Comcast in Georgia. I'm on the DuPont Network. I'm on the Right Network. I'm on a lot of different networks.
Wow.
So just continuing to reach out to people and doing interviews and doing different red carpet events. A couple of weeks ago, I did Stomp the Violence, the iconic awards in Memphis. And we do it every year. I'm on the red carpet interviewing people, so I have to put that out. I'm almost finished editing it. It takes a lot of editing, but I really, truly love it. I got to get the celebrities to give me their top, advice to people. And that's my goal on the red carpet. Give me your advice. What do you say? What is the main thing that you want to tell your listeners, and encouraging them to go after their dreams and their goals? And the music is good. I have to say that because I found that this gives me joy and music gives me joy, I don't know which one's going to come next. I live, like I said, a one continual lifetime, and I'm just going to let it flow within there. I know that music is going to come back up. I know it because I've already prayed for it. I don't push things and try to fit, the square and the circle kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just live my life, and I tell you, it's just a joy. It's a joy.
It's so wonderful for me to hear that, because I know what we're doing is going to heal people.
Oh, yeah.
We're locked into this beautiful thing with the tool and the gift that the Most High has given us to go out and sing with notes.
Yeah.
Give a message with notes, right? Really beautiful. And I mean, wherever you go in the world, I've never been to a place that they don't have music.
Mm.
I hear you. And it's a universal language. Literally speaking, I like Spanish music, even though I don't know what the heck they sing. And sometimes I'm like, I'm out there dancing, and when I learn the lyrics, I'm like, okay, great, but just sing it in Spanish.
Yeah. What I love too is to go to different countries and see instruments that you don't see every day.
Yeah.
Because I want our young people in America and different places to see these different instruments. Put your own beat with it, but put a message on there that heals, educates, and solves problems. Try that. You know what I mean? And we can do that, and we're going to do it. We already did. We already are.
Right.
That's all I right now is social conscious music. So I'm good with that. Like I say, I haven't written a love song in years, right? And I thought it was going to be hard, but it's really not. When I have cancer patients come up and say, thank you for that song. Tom?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd just like to ask how people can get hold of what it is you do, what kind of social media areas you're available on, how people can interact. I
have my website is yayadiamond.com. So that's fairly easy. It's just my name.com. Okay. Also, I am on Instagram. And I kind of stay on Instagram a little bit more than all the other platforms. So it's Yaya Diamond Official. And I'm TikTok, Yaya Diamond, on Twitter, Yaya Diamond. You can find me, or you can just Google Yaya Diamond. I'm always posting. Hit me up. Follow me.
Great stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the privilege of your time to come on our show.
Thanks for
We appreciate that. And I think people are going to love the track. So where do they find your track at?
Sean and I did our own versions of the song Change the World. He did his and I did mine, and we put it out. So you can find his Change the World featuring Yaya Diamond, or you can find mine, Change the World, and then it says Yaya Diamond vocal. So it doesn't matter which one you listen to. They're both amazing songs. You can get it on SoundCloud. You can get it on Spotify. You can get it on Tidal, YouTube. You can listen to it, or you can even purchase it. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and share it. Please put it in your playlist today.
We will. Yeah. Much love to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks,
it's such a pleasure. Thank you guys both. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Skyler. Thank you.
If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.